What exactly determines your credit score? Here in just a moment, we're going to look at some characteristics and some measures that credit agencies will look at to determine your credit score. Find out here in just a second from Dollar Autor. There are three major credit reporting agencies that's going to put all the information together to spit out your credit score. One of those things is going to be your credit history. Now that may not be a surprise to you. Your credit history, you mean how often and how fast I pay my bills? Yes, because what they're going to look at is, have you missed any payments? Are you 30 days late? Perhaps you're 60 days late on paying your bills. All these are going to determine the type of character, the type of person you are. Not only you as a person, not by any means, but sometimes in some cases. What this may also mean is perhaps you're not living within your means. Perhaps you're living outside of your means and you're stretched thin, living paycheck to paycheck, and actually you're over exceeding yourself. So you're spending more than what you're taking in. And that's going to reflect on your ability to pay your bills or not. The other thing is going to be bankruptcy. Obviously that's going to kind of go hand in hand with your payment history as well. But what's going to determine is, were you able to work yourself out of debt and avoid bankruptcy? Or is your debt so bad, or perhaps a unique situation had occurred in your life that you had to file for bankruptcy? So that's going to be one of the measures that they look at. Another measure that credit agencies look at is going to be the length of the accounts that you have. How long have you had your credit cards? How long have you had your mortgage? How long have you had this and that? All these are going to be another factor into determining your score, because they want to see, are you constantly applying for new applications, applying for new loans, or did you apply for those loans and you've kept that consistent across the board and you're able to manage your money wisely. This is also going to apply for new accounts. If you're one of these people who you're trying to get a new credit card like every month, every other month, perhaps every 6 months, typically what they're looking at is how many accounts is this person opening up every 2 years. 2 years is kind of the magical number that I've seen from Experian and TransUnion, which are two of the credit reporting agencies. They want to see how many credit applications you're really applying for, how many loans, because that's kind of a negative sign to them. It's like, put yourself in their shoes if you're a lender. Why are they consistently trying to apply for new loans? Perhaps they're stretched thin, perhaps they're not living within their means. So that's going to be a measure number 2. The third factor that's going to go into this is going to be what I like to call utilization. Another word could be is the balance of your accounts. So typically from month to month, credit card agencies prefer that you pay off your credit cards. You swipe something, you spend a little, and then you pay it off at the end of the month. Most Americans don't do that, in fact. What they do is they carry those balances from month to month. And I have a great blog on Dollar Autor that talks about the impacts and negative impacts of compounding interest. So I want you to check that out. But are you carrying a high balance on a consistent basis? What that's going to show to not only the credit reporting agencies, but also to the lenders is, why is he not paying off this balance? Why is she not taking care of this debt? So those are going to be two things that they're looking at. They're going to see, okay, he's able to charge with a certain amount of balance onto that card, but are they able to pay it off pretty quickly? And so that's going to play a huge role on your ability, is how much credit compared to their limit are they using? And that's going to be called the utilization. Are they using 80% of that limit that we've given them? Are they using only maybe 20%? Now, credit reporting agencies typically say on their websites that they like you to keep less than 30% of your utilization limit. So basically what that means, if they give you a $1,000 limit, they don't want you using more than $300, or it could negatively impact your credit score. So just something to kind of think about. You keep hearing, I need to have a mixture of things on my credit report. Yes and no. The only reason I say no is credit's credit. If you need credit, obviously you need credit score to a certain degree in order to mortgage a house. Typically credit's only for people who can't save enough money, personal side. Now I've heard people sit there and elaborate and say, well, using debt in order for investing or whatever could be a positive thing. For some situations that could be true. However, I want to warn you and be cautious. If you're one of these people who can quickly get sunken into debt, I would highly advise that. But let's talk about a mix. What they're looking for on there is, when you're looking at a credit report, think of if you had a client who had nothing but credit cards. Say they had 5 credit cards. Okay, but they didn't have any other debt. That could be a red flag. Now, if they have a mixture of, say, a mortgage, say they had an automobile loan, they're paying some other bills on time, perhaps they're renting a house, renting an apartment, and they have credit cards, and they show on that consistent payment across month-to-month basis, then it shows a certain level of responsibility and creditors like that. Now, we're going to shoot another blog here, and so check out dollarautor.com for ways of how to increase your credit score. I also have a book here on Amazon that's going to be released here on the Kindle version here in March. So I want you to check that out as well. So thank you for tuning in to Dollar Otter. My name is Nick, and have a blessed day.